Alright. So we made it down to Fidos. It's pretty early. I don't know. So it's 5:30, but to get down here you have to leave just a bit earlier. Just smack bang on 5 to get here at 5:30. It's just 5:28, and a mate Ant's meant to be getting here at 5:30 as well for a 5:30 launch, so he should be here any second. Yeah, so I don't know. It's one of those trips. I just hopped out of the car quickly and it's feeling a little bit windy, but it's not too bad. Fidos is definitely one of the places where you don't want there to be any wind because it's sort of out on a sort of a point, and you've got to get past the island, which is Cook Island, which is puts you out maybe 2 k's already by the time you hit Fidos Reef, and that's minimum 2 to 3 k's. Plus, you want to go further than that, so you're out on the point where it can be rougher. There's more currents to deal with. And then if the wind sort of whips up, there's a bommy that comes right up to, you know, maybe 4 meters, and then the waves break on that as well. So if there's swell, there's big waves to deal with. I've actually been knocked off on it once before. I remember I was sort of doing loops around the bommy thinking, oh yeah, this is sweet, I'll get a little closer. Next thing I knew, I looked up and I was in like this terrible spot, and there was waves just crashing down on me, and I was trying to face in, and you always thinking, look at those bombies, and sort of think, oh, I'll just pop over those, you know, if I ever get caught there. Mate, there was no popping over these things. They just would tower up and like, they look like 3 meters high above you, you know, crashing straight down on you. Oh, he's out now, so I guess we better wrap it up and get ready. I'm not looking forward to getting out of the car because it's nice and warm in the car, so alright, here we go. Alright, that was very close. Almost got the kayak onto my shoulder, and I didn't have my bait. That would just be the end of the fishing trip right there. Back at Fidos. It's been ages since I've been here. Feels like. So Cook Island, just straight in front there. Yeah, Fingal and Fidos Reef is and if it's calm enough, we usually go to 9 Mile as well, but I don't think it's going to be that calm today. But yeah, it's a particularly special place. Always very picturesque and beautiful, but as soon as that wind picks up, actually turns very ugly very quickly as well. I really do need to catch a good fish. If this works out, this video could turn into my first catch and cook, or at least be the catch part of the cook. I guess you have to put the catch in with the cook to be a catch and cook, don't you? So maybe I'll have to combine it, but maybe I'll make a couple of meals after that as well, because I usually make quite a few meals from a big fish. It usually lasts for quite a few, and then, you know, we go over to a friend's house and cook some up there as well, and usually share it around depending on how big the fish is and how many we get. So there could be quite a few part of the catch and cooks coming up, and I don't know how I'll work that out, but hopefully we'll get a couple of good videos out of them, and I'll start doing those with the fish. I've got to jump on the bandwagon. These things are popular, and I think I should be able to do an alright job, so we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But I guess we've got to do the catching part now first, which is proving to be a bit trickier than I'd hoped over the last couple of weeks. So much for not getting wet. Bit sloppy, isn't it? Yeah, no, I got wet. So it didn't really matter which way your head went, like, because it's coming in on all different angles, and then yeah, that water does feel good, doesn't it? I hope it's not just because we're cold. Yeah, I got pillies and I got a gar. I thought I want something nice and long and wavy, you know, to wave in front of them. Well, there's definitely some decent swell around today. Just getting out towards the bommy now, hitting the main part of the reef, but some of these sort of some of these waves that are coming through are pretty big. It's just sort of rolling in nicely. See that horizon just disappear. And these are little ones now. The ones that rolled in just before definitely had some size. Come on, let's not lose this fish. Let's get all our lines in so we don't have the same problem as last time. Ooh, keep the pressure on. What is this? A lot of head shakes. Just got tiny head shakes actually. It's hard to tell what this is going to be. Get all these lines in. Alright, come on. Now we can tighten up a little bit on it. Let him turn the yak and settle in. And hope he doesn't head straight back for those waves, because then I have to really deal with something. I've got a feeling it's a tuna with that bouncy rod. Hopefully not a Mac tuna. Gonna be, eh? Oh, I can see some blue. Looks like it could be a longtail. Please be a longtail and not a maybe a yellowfin. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Oh yeah. So not quite the fish I was hoping for, but we will take it, because sashimi wise, actually delicious. In Hawaii, this is the fish, man. Everyone wants to catch these. The other red meat in Australia, kind of frowned upon a little bit, but you know what? Sometimes you just need to sort of snap out of that way of thinking and realise that there's more to life than just snapper and mackerel. So let's dispatch of this guy and get my rig back. I want that rig back. I'm not in the mood to change that over. Alright. Oh well, we'll be doing a catch and cook with him. And we'll show you how good the Mac tuna can be. Much to everyone's disgust. For a while. Come on. Looks like I'm going to be fighting this guy into the wind. Just going to somehow turn it around. Alright, we're making ground now. Quite quickly. Ooh. Still got to watch the swell. It's a bit hairy still. Jeez. Hard work getting that much line in, I'll tell you. What is it? Tell me that's a who. It's a Spanish or who? Oh, it's a nice one too. And he's eating my transducer. That's no good. We're happy, and it's not a bad Spanish either. Not a bad Spanish at all. I'm very happy with that. Oh geez, he's not happy with that though. So that's why we like Fidos. But it just means you got to deal with this as well. Which way? back in, or I got to find out first and I'm heading back in. Look at the size of this swell that's coming through. The camera never shows it, but you got to see, like I'm going up here, up. And then I'm sitting on top right about now. These aren't even big ones. Some much bigger ones have been coming through, so this is it's pretty epic sometimes when you sit back and sort of just watch them roll through. But, all right, let's head in and find out and head in. Woo! Far out, look at that. Keeps you on your toes, that's for sure. Look, I'm not even paddling, traveling like 10 k's an hour. Great. I just gave the old filleting table a clean off. How's this for a filleting table? A mate of mine sort of elevated himself to the best friend status. Just dropped around. I often give him a fish, so he just dropped around one day with this on the back of his ute, or he had to borrow the ute to get it here as well, so it's pretty cool. So had a good day yesterday, caught some fish for once, and definitely fish that I can actually cook and eat, which is cool as well. So we're going to try and do maybe sort of like a catch and cook, except the fish is sort of bigger than just a one-off meal. So I think we'll have to maybe do the filleting and maybe one quick meal, or maybe I'll show the mac tuna that we ate last night as the end of this film, and then I might put like a few different little short cook-ups of the Spanish, and just so you can see sort of what happens to that, and that'll have more cooked meals as well, because the tuna we just basically ate raw because it's too good just raw, and mac tuna doesn't really cook. I think the attitude is changing towards it for people that actually eat raw fish and raw tuna, because it's actually pretty good raw. And we had it last night. We're tuna eaters and raw fish eaters, and we love it. You know what I mean? There's certainly nothing wrong with it. I probably do prefer yellowfin and longtails more, but I'm certainly not going to snub my nose up at it. And my attitude's changing towards it as well, because I listen to everyone sort of trash it so much that I've stopped taking them. And then only recently, have I sort of thought, you know what, I'm going to take one home every now and then. But the Spanish is definitely going to be the highlight. It's probably the better fish and the better eating fish. We'll fillet it up and maybe do some cook-ups. We'll see what we fit in this film. If not, it'll be maybe a three-parter. We'll see. So nothing too special about the way I do it. Basically just work my way down the back, work your way underneath until you hit the spine, nick the tail at the bottom so you've got something to grab onto, and then just run the knife all the way up the spine and while lifting up, and the whole fillet comes off nicely. Sometimes you get a little bit left here, so I like to run the knife along here and take off all the extra bits. Then once I've got those extra bits and I've got them just here, this is actually a good time for me to try some, and then if anyone's going to get ciguatera and get sick, it's me, hopefully before anyone else eats it. So I'm the test subject. I've not been sick yet, and I don't want to be. I have met a few guys now that have been sick, and it's not fun. So try your fish before you give it to the whole family and everyone. Okay, we'll just fill this bit up, we'll do the other side, and then move on to a meal later on maybe. Had a chance to sort of get the catch and cook going, and it's just been a real busy week, but finally at a stage now where I can actually do one. So we're going to try and make just some like Spanish mackerel burgers. We usually eat the Spanish raw at the beginning as well, and it's really good sashimi too, but now we're going to switch to cooked meals. I feel like burgers tonight, so it's always good to show you a good beer batter. A good beer batter is always good to know, and you can't go wrong with like a crispy piece of fish. So I had actually already started putting it together, just because we're short on time and everything else. But basically mix the batter. When you're mixing it, you'd see that I'd added a little bit of flour in first, a good amount of flour. Then I mixed the beer as I went, because I want to get that right consistency. Your batter really needs to be the right consistency. You don't want it too thick, because then you'll have this super chunky coating on the fish and it'll be too much. And you don't want it too thin, because then it'll run off and you get not enough coating. So just want to see how it's running through there. So you want it to leave sort of maybe a 1 mil kind of coating on your whisk or your knife or whatever you dip in there, and see how it just sort of runs off. You just want to find that nice consistency. That's the way I like it. Some people like it thicker, some others will like it thinner, but if I'm doing the beer batter, that's the way that's sort of where I'm looking. I've already cut the fish. So, and that's basically just rolled in flour just to get it dry, and then we'll just basically dip that. But first, we'll get our sauce ready. So I've cut up some cucumber or pickles and some dill, and I'll just add that to some whole leg mayo. They could actually be a bit smaller, really. Like. A little bit of pepper. Always try your food as you cook. Probably could be squeeze a lemon in there. And I've actually got the extra ingredients, and no one likes it when there's not enough sauce on the burger, so you might as well just go for it and make a little bit more. And use it all up. Can never have enough sauce, mate. Lather up. Now you could put extra things in like onion, but I'm not going to worry about it. We're just keeping it simple. Alright. We need something to go with the burger. I think I like a little bit of slaw or a little bit of cabbage. But you could put maybe like just simple lettuce, like the underrated cost lettuce. But cut this nice and thin. You don't want it too thick. Just enough for a couple of burgers. We're not making too much tonight, so just a little bit more. the green and just add a little bit of colour, so we'll add some of the other. Bit of purple cabbage. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm actually going to mix that with the sauce and just make a little bit of like a coleslaw kind of thing. So then we just whack it straight on the burger and we're good to go. You can add extra sauce if you like, but there's no need to muck around and add any extra processes, and then that way it'll all stay on the burger nicely. So chuck that straight into a bowl and get your sauce. Just put some of that on there. Just enough to get it nice and sticky. Yeah, excuse your hands. Don't muck around with spoons, just use your hands. Alright, so that is perfect. Okay, we'll bring the oil up and get that going. I'll just crank it now. I sort of preheated it a little bit so we wouldn't have to wait too long, but I think it's cooled down quite a bit, so we'll get there. When you cut the fish, make sure you don't cut it all into perfect squares or anything. No one likes perfect looking shapes when it comes to food. And then if you cut it uneven, maybe sort of triangles and different varied shapes, what you get is you get sort of some thin areas with lots of batter, and then some big, thick, chunky pieces of fish. And it's just more appealing to the eye, more appealing to the mouth. That's what you really want, and you get sort of bits with more batter on it. Alright, so we're ready, the oil's boiled, ready to put it in. So get your fish and we'll start dipping. Nice coating of batter on every part of the fish. Sometimes it helps to use tongs so you don't get fingerprints of the batter marks. And start putting it in. Do quite a few pieces. So ideally, if you're doing big batches, you want to do smaller loads and not let your oil drop, or if you've got a big deep fryer, then you've been luck. You wouldn't have to worry about that, but you don't want to sort of overload it too much. Make sure you got plenty of oil, don't skimp on the amount of oil you put in. You're frying it anyway. A mate of mine always says, mate, you're frying it anyway, so don't skimp on the amount of oil you put in the pot. Don't try and shallow fry it, let's just batter these suckers. They're going to stick together a little bit. So you're probably at the limit of this pot now, so maybe we'll do this in 2 lots. If they start floating and they're stuck together, you can break them up a little bit. Just want to make sure that that one there gets enough on it. Okay, so they are getting to be golden brown, which is what I want. They're almost there. Let's take it over the light so you can see. There we go. So I would say they're almost done. Give them just a little bit more. Get them perfect. Nice crispy batter, that's what you want. And that's what we got. Perfect. So there's the end result. Look at those, and they're super crispy. If you see that, like you'll see the crunch. That's what you want. Try and get a bit of salt on them before the oil dries. And then we are ready to assemble burgers. Now what I do have, which is going to make a slightly fancier burger, is I went out, like if we can ever get our hands on them, you want these brioche buns. They're slightly sweeter and super soft. So we've got our warmed up buns ready to go. Let's add a bit of slaw. How does that fish look? It's perfect, still moist inside. So maybe we'll cut that one down so we fit just the right amount on. Yeah, you gotta have sauce on it. Not mucking around. You want it. I'll leave that off so you can see. But, yep. There's our Brioche Buns Spanish Mackerel burgers ready to eat. You gonna eat yours, Dash?
Yeah.